Between Duties and Desires follows the story of Emeka, a respected husband and father, and Zuri, a young maid taken in by the family out of charity. What begins as gratitude from Zuri for a second chance at life slowly turns into ambition, self-deceit, and forbidden romance as she becomes entangled in a secret affair with Emeka. Ngozi, the beautiful, elegant, and hard-working wife, prepares her children for school. Zuri, the young and seemingly grateful maid, works in the kitchen, quietly observing and calculating her moves towards Emeka, the charismatic father who loves to read a newspaper at the dining table. Emeka is admired as the pillar of the family, but has a subtle dissatisfaction with the routine of life. Zuri's lingering and glances at Emeka hint at her hidden infatuation, wanting Emeka's attention. Later that morning, Emeka asks Zuri to bring his briefcase to the car. Their hands briefly touched sparks unspoken tensions and feelings of infatuations between them. The affair begins. Later that night, Zuri stays late in the kitchen cleaning. Emeka walks in to get water. A conversation starts innocently but turns into a moment of vulnerability. Zuri praises Emeka for his kindness, and Emeka, feeling unappreciated at home, basks in the attention Zuri was giving him. A series of secret meetings follows afterwards between Emeka and Zuri. As Zuri begins to wear subtle makeups and nicer clothes to attract Emeka's attention. One evening, Emeka and Zuri share a kiss, a moment of romance that led to them having sex in the servants' quarters. Ngozi notices Zuri's change of behavior towards her and confronts her gently, asking her questions. Zuri denies any wrongdoing but looks nervous and scared. Ngozi starts to sense that her husband may be having secret affairs with Zuri. Later that day, Zuri confesses to Emeka that she is pregnant. Emeka panics, realizing the catastrophic negative implications this will have on his family. Zuri begins to demand more of Emeka's attentions, threatening to expose the affairs if Emeka distances himself from her. Ngozi overhears a heated argument between Emeka and Zuri in the compound as she discovers the affairs and the pregnancy Zuri had for her husband, Emeka. She was heartbroken, collapses in tears, unable to comprehend the betrayal from Zuri and infidelity from Emeka, her husband. Later that night, Ngozi confronts her husband, Emeka, in their bedroom. Her voice was trembling with anger and grief. Emeka struggles to justify his actions and deny the truth, just as Ngozi declares her intentions to leave the marriage with her children, filing for divorce. As the discussion was ongoing, Zuri screams from the other room, signaling a medical emergency, calling for attention. Zuri was rushed to the hospital, and Ngozi stands at a crossroads in thought. Her face was filled with anger and despair and couldn't believe what was happening. The family gathers in the hospital waiting area, filled with tension and silence. Emeka looks guilt-ridden and Ngozi sits apart, her arms crossed, refusing to acknowledge Emeka's presence. The doctor walks in to explain that Zuri's condition was caused by complications from stress and early pregnancy. This revelation shocks Ngozi's family further as the pregnancy scandal becomes undeniable. Ngozi, dressed in a subdued Ankara gown, sits unhappy while Emeka, in a traditional attire, sits beside Ngozi bowing his head in shame. Back at home, Ngozi packs her bags to leave the marriage, but Emeka quickly pleads for forgiveness, admitting his failures, infidelity, and expressing deep regrets of the whole situations. He kneels before Ngozi, begging her for another chance. Ngozi delivers a powerful monologue agreement about trust, betrayal, and the importance of family values with her husband Emeka, and then decided to stay for the children, but warns that trust, love will take time to rebuild and develop between she and her husband. Zuri leaves the compound with a bag, feeling ashamed and unhappy. She is remorseful but understands the gravity of her actions and mistakes she had made. Ngozi watches Zuri silently as she walks away. She was torn between anger and pity. Zuri vowed to start afresh, accepting her mistakes and single-handedly raise her unborn child. Meanwhile, Ngozi and Emeka attempt to rebuild their marriage and to build trust. Weeks later, the family gathers for dinner. The atmosphere is tense but hopeful as Emeka makes an effort to connect with Ngozi and the children. Ngozi takes the first step towards forgiveness, offering Emeka a warm smile. Months later, Zuri, now living in a small humble village, she works in a community health center, helping young women and mothers navigate challenges she herself faced. Zuri writes a heartfelt letter to Ngozi, apologizing for her actions and thanking her for giving her a second chance. Few months later, Emeka takes on an active role in his community, mentoring young men about family values and the consequences of infidelity in marriage. He delivers a speech at a community gathering, publicly acknowledging his past mistakes and encouraging others to make better choices. Emeka and Ngozi work together on a quiet evening in their compound. They share a reflective conversation about their journey and reaffirm their commitment to rebuilding their marriage. Ngozi places her hand on Emeka, symbolizing the beginning of healing. The family hosts a small celebration for their anniversary. The children laugh and play, while Ngozi and Emeka exchange warm glances. The mood is joyful and hopeful. Ngozi takes charge of her career and personal goals, opening a women's empowerment center to support wives and young women facing familiar and cultural challenges. Ngozi delivers a powerful speech to a group of women sharing her journey of pain, forgiveness, and growth, inspiring them to find strength in their struggles. Ngozi, dressed in a vibrant and elegant outfit, stands confidently in front of a group of attentive women, gesturing passionately as she speaks. Zuri receives Ngozi's response to her heartfelt letter. In it, Ngozi forgives her and encourages her to continue her path of self-improvement. Zuri is moved to tears, clutching the letter closer to herself. Zuri decides to expand her work, mentoring other young women about making better life choices. Emeka surprises Ngozi with a family trip to a historical cultural site, symbolizing a fresh start. The family bonds over the outing, sharing laughter and memories. Ngozi acknowledges Emeka's effort and admits she is starting to trust and love him again. Years later, Emeka and Ngozi are shown older, sitting on the porch while their grown children and grandchildren plays in the compound. Zuri visits the family with her own child, showing the peace and reconciliations they have achieved. Later that night, Emeka and Ngozi were reflecting on their trials and how they overcame them as a family. Zuri becomes a celebrated advocate for women's health and education, hosting seminars across rural communities. Her story of overcoming shame and rebuilding her life inspires many. She was invited to speak at a regional women's summit where she delivers an emotional speech about the power of forgiveness and personal growth. Ngozi's Empowerment Center expands into multiple communities, helping countless women gain financial independence and find their voices. She partners with Zuri to address societal issues such as gender roles and the consequences of infidelity. The two women share the stage during a joint initiative, showing how their lives have intertwined positively despite their rocky past. Emeka is shown leading a men's forum, encouraging father and husband to embrace accountability and reject harmful behaviors. He candidly shares his story, gaining respect for his humility and wisdom. He reunites with an estranged friend of his whose life he unknowingly inspired to change. The family hosts a large celebration to mark the anniversary of Ngozi's Empowerment Center and Zuri's advocacy work. The event is filled with music, dancing, and cultural displays, symbolizing community healing and growth. A now unified community and family, Emeka, Ngozi, and Zuri sit together, sharing a laugh as children dance joyfully at the foreground. Years later, Ngozi and Emeka's children, now adults, return to the family compound with their own families. They credit their parents' resilience and growth for shaping their values. The eldest child delivers a heartfelt speech at a family reunion, acknowledging the strengths and lessons they gained from their parents' journey. Zuri runs a thriving women's resource center in the city, where she mentors a group of young women. She receives an award for her contribution to society and reflects on how far she has come. Zuri visits Ngozi and Emeka to thank them for the forgiveness that allow her to rebuild her life and to reunite with them. Zuri, dressed in elegant African attire, holds a plaque while smiling proudly, surrounded by young women she has mentored. Ngozi and Emeka, now grandparents, sit together on their couch, watching their grandchildren's play. They reflect on their life journey, acknowledging their growth and the strength of their love. Emeka shares a final heartfelt moment, thanking Ngozi for her forgiveness and strength. Ngozi smiles, saying, "We build this together." Years later, Ngozi publishes a memo detailing her life story, the trials she endured, and the lessons she learned. The book becomes a source of inspiration for women across the continent and the communities. Zuri travels internationally to speak at a global conference on women's empowerment and redemption. She highlights the transformative power of forgiveness and resilience. Zuri tells her story on a global stage, receiving a standing ovation, with Ngozi watching proudly from the audience in a grand conference hall with diverse attendees from all over the world. Zuri stands at a podium dressed in elegant African attire, addressing a captivated audience as Ngozi sits smiling in support. The family celebrates a landmark anniversary for Ngozi and Emeka, surrounded by their children, grandchildren, and extended family. The celebration is filled with traditional music, dance, and laughter. Emeka's make a speech reflecting on the journey of love, forgiveness, and growth that brought their family together. Ngozi Empowerment Center's flourishing, Zuri's continued advocacy, and the family's ongoing unity. True strength comes from forgiveness, love, and resilience. Ngozi and Emeka's grandchildren, as they grow into young adults, carrying forward the values of forgiveness, resilience, and family unity instilled by their grandparents. One grandchild, a young woman whose name is Ada, starts a community initiative inspired by Ngozi's Empowerment Center, while another, Kelechi, curates an art exhibition that keeps celebrating family bonds. Zuri mentors a group of young women who are now leaders in their own communities. Together, they launch a nationwide campaign advocating for education, premarital sex, health, and gender equality. Zuri proudly watches as one of her mentees delivers a passionate speech, knowing her work has created a ripple effect of empowerment. Emeka's influence as a mentor grows quietly but steadily. A young man he once mentored approaches him with gratitude, explaining how Emeka's advice saved his family and changed his life. Emeka, now older and wiser, reflects on how his past mistakes have been turned into lessons that help others. The family organizes a large annual festival celebrating community culture and unity. People from all over the region attend, including Zuri, her proteges, and Ngozi's grandchildren. The festival symbolizes how individual growth and redemption can transform not just a family but an entire community. The story closes with a mortgage of smiles, laughter, and dancing. Ngozi and Emeka, now elderly, sitting under their family tree as their legacy is etched in the smiles of their descendants and the striving community they helped shape. The family tree, its branches spreading wide, symbolizing a legacy that endures through generations. Decades have passed, and the young generation in the family takes on leadership roles in their communities. The torch is officially passed as Ngozi and Emeka's great-grandchildren begin making their mark in the world. One great-grandchild, Inena, organizes a youth conference inspired by Zuri's advocacy, while another, Chidi, leads a technology project for rural development. Zuri, now older and more reflective, passes away peacefully after a life of service and redemption. Her funeral becomes a grand celebration of life, attended by community women and families she has touched. Ngozi delivers a heartfelt elegy, praising Zuri for her journey of redemption and the countless lives she has changed. In their final years, Emeka and Ngozi sit together on the porch of their family home. They reminisce about their journey, the pain, the growth, the love, and how their struggles become the foundation for a thriving family and community. They share a quiet moment of gratitude, looking out at their great-grandchildren playing and laughing in the compound. Ngozi's Empowerment Centers, Zuri advocacy work, and the striving communities delivers a reflective message about how love, forgiveness, and redemption can leave an eternal legacy. The family tree, its branches full of life, symbolizing the enduring strength of their bonds. The descendants of Ngozi and Emeka have become leaders, mentors, and advocates in their own right. Inena, the granddaughter, and Chidi, the great-grandson, are now community leaders, and the values of family, resilience, and empowerment continue to flourish. Inena, leading a women's leadership conference, shares her family story as a testament to overcoming adversity. Chidi launches a youth development initiative teaching young people in rural areas how to lead with integrity and strength. Inena stands confidently on a large stage at a vibrant conference addressing an audience of young women and men. Chidi is in a rural village teaching a group of children how to work on community building projects like building clean water systems. The community center, founded by Zuri, has grown into a network of centers around the region, each continue our mission of empowerment and self-reliance. The center hosts a celebration of Zuri's legacy, now integrated into the fabric of society. Zuri's daughter, now an adult, shares her mother's story and the lessons learned, reinforcing the cycle of mentorship and growth that continues to reverberate. Emeka and Ngozi, now elderly, share their final moments together in the home they built. They sit in their favorite spot, quietly reflecting on a lifetime of trials and triumph. Their health is failing, but their spirits remain strong as they watch their great-grandchildren play in the yard. Emeka expresses gratitude for the life they have shared, while Ngozi reassures him that their legacy is secured through their children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren. The family's impact on the community and the world. The village flourishing, the community center striving, and the youth leading with courage and integrity. The expansive family tree, now full of names representing generations of growth and resilience. While individuals may come and go, the legacy they leave behind, the love, the lessons, and the lives they touched continues forever. The family legacy continues to inspire new generations. In a small village where Emeka and Ngozi's story began, young people come together to create a community-driven project honoring the values of unity, empowerment, and family. The village elders watch with pride as the younger generations works together. The young people decide to build a community center dedicated to the lessons of forgiveness, resilience, and love that shaped their ancestors' lives. This becomes a symbol of hope and continuity for the entire community. Zuri's impact is memorialized through a global movement. Her name and work are featured in schools, women's organizations, and grassroots movements worldwide. A ceremony is held in her honor in an international space where leaders from different countries gather to speak about her contribution to empowering women and promoting justice. Zuri's legacy has become an international symbol of resilience and redemption, continuing to inspire beyond the borders of our homeland. The family tree, an enduring symbol of the strength and unity that defined Emeka and Ngozi's legacy, continues to strive. The tree's roots now spread across countries and continents, with branches extending into various fields: education, health, technology, and social justice. Each branch represents the work and contributions of family members throughout the generations. Focusing on the youngest generation, who are now the bearers of the family's values, they gather around the tree, listening to the elders' stories and teachings, ensuring the legacy continues to live on. As the sun sets over the village, the impacts of Emeka, Ngozi, and Zuri and their descendants will continue to resonate in every life they have touched. No matter the hardships, love and resilience will always rise. The next generation of leaders, inspired by Emeka and Ingos's story, have grown into their roles as community advocates. These leaders are now seen in positions of power, championing social reforms and uplifting marginalized communities. One of the youngest leaders, Amara, gives a public speech at a national forum on education, advocating for systemic changes and equal opportunities for all. Amara speaks about the enduring legacy of our ancestors, highlighting how the values of resilience, forgiveness, and empowerment have shaped her path. She credits her great-grandparents for instilling these values in her and calls for unity across generations to continue their work. Emeka and Ingos's story and their descendants' work have inspired movements globally between international organizations, small villages, schools, and social justice projects where their legacy is alive and thriving. In these settings, family values have led to tangible progress in education, health, gender equality, and environmental sustainability. Leaders from different countries come together in a summit dedicated to the spirit of forgiveness and family, discussing how the lessons from this one family have shaped the broader global landscape. The family's cultural influence extends into the arts as a traveling art exhibition showcases the journey of forgiveness, redemption, and family unity. Paintings, sculptures, and multimedia installations depicting the pivotal moments in Emeka and Ingos's story travel from city to city, sparking conversations about legacy, resilience, and love. At one exhibition, a young artist explains the influence of Emeka and Ingos's story on their works, showing a painting that represents the family tree and its far-reaching branches, symbolizing the lasting impact on future generations. The final moment takes place back in the village where Emeka and Ingos's journey began. The family gathers under the original family tree, which has now grown large and strong, symbolizing the strength of the values that have carried them through generations. The youngest members of the family, children and teenagers who are learning about their legacy and how they are the future guardians of this family story. The family elders, now the last living member of Emeka and Ingos's generation, passes the torch to the young ones, signifying the continuation of their mission. The family tree is celebrated with a joyous event where the entire community joins to honor the values passed down. The family compound and the surrounding village, now flourishing due to the hard work and lessons of the previous generations. The story of Emeka and Ingosi, of love, betrayal, forgiveness, and redemption has come full circle, leaving a legacy that will continue to guide the family for generations to come. The internal circle of love and resilience, where the impact of one family's journey continues to shape the world, bringing hope and transformation wherever it goes. The values of Emeka and Ingos's family have now permeated multiple sectors of society across the globe, from urban cities to remote villages. Various community leaders, activists, and educators gather to share the impact of the family story on their work and lives. In a televised global broadcast, leaders from different continents discuss how they have been inspired by Emeka and Ingos's family values, focusing on resilience, family bonds, forgiveness, and community. They highlight the profound impact the family story has had on shaping global movements for social justice, education, and family empowerment. a grand cultural festival is held to celebrate the family's African heritage and the values they uphold. Traditional music, dance, and performances are held to honor the family's contribution to preserving culture while also fostering progress and unity. The festival brings together multiple generations of the family and the broader communities. In a moment of reflection, the youngest generation of the family performs a traditional dance that has been passed down through generations, symbolizing the cycle of life, unity, and cultural preservations. Their dance is a metaphor for the continuity of the family's impact through the ages. A new generation of the family members, now fully matured, decide to create a formal foundation to continue the work started by Emeka and Ngozi. The foundation aims to address global challenges such as poverty, education equality, gender justice, and environmental sustainability. At the foundation's inaugural ceremony, the family leaders speak about their vision for the future, emphasizing the importance of preserving family values while embracing modern solutions to contemporary issues. They announced the Foundation First Initiative, which is a global scholarship program for youth from disadvantaged backgrounds. The family elders gathered to give their blessings to the younger generations. The elders, who are the last living members of Emeka and Ngozi's generation, sit together under the family tree. They pass down words of wisdom, urging the younger generations to continue living with integrity, compassion, and a sense of responsibility toward their community and the world. One elder, possibly Suri's daughter, speaks of the importance of humility and self-awareness as they move forward with the work ahead, reminding them that their strength lies in the love they have for one another and their commitment to each other's well-being. The family tree still standing strong and firm, now has even more leaves symbolizing future generations. The family and community join together in a song of unity, marking the end of a journey but the beginning of a new chapter for the family's legacy. The eldest living member of the family stands before a symbolic flame, the family's ceremonial fire, passed down through generations. This fire represents the core values of love, resilience, and the family's ability to endure through hardships. The matriarch lights a new torch from the ceremonial flame, symbolizing the family's ongoing commitment to their values and the continuation of the legacy. The younger generation gathers around, ready to carry forward the torch, literally and metaphorically. The family's Global Center for Education and Social Reform, built as a tribute to Emeka and Ngozi's vision. The center stands tall in the heart of the village, serving as a hope for the community and beyond. Children from all over come to learn, people from various walks of life come to collaborate, and a ripple of progress spread outward. During the grand opening, a plaque is unveiled commemorating the family's legacy. The plaque features a message that encapsulates the family's journey, emphasizing the clinical nature of their values and how this principle continue to inspire generations, showing how the family's values have sparked positive changes on a global scale. In schools, communities, and businesses, people are working together to build a better world. The influence of the family story is now felt in far-reaching corners of society, transcending cultural and geographical boundaries. The family is gathered together in front of the now legendary family tree. The entire family is present, from the youngest children to the elders, representing the full cycle of life and the continuation of the family story. The family's journey was never just about one generation, but about a legacy that has been passed down like a precious gift. The values of love, family, and forgiveness are timeless, and they will continue to live on in the heart of those who believe in them. The matriarch, with a proud smile, tells the youngest family member, "This flame will continue to guide us through every storm, every trial, and every triumph." A time-lapse sees of the family tree as the season changes. Leaves falling, new blossoms emerging, and the branches growing stronger over decades. The tree has become a revered symbol in the community, a living monument to the resilience and unity of Emeka and Ngosi's legacy. The family has gathered once again, but this time the occasion is a celebration of life, a commemoration of all the generations that come before, and a welcoming of new members into the fold. As each generation steps forward, their contributions to the family's legacy are recognized. A choir begins to sing a traditional family hymn, one that was composed during Emeka and Ngosi's lifetime to honor their story of love and redemption. The song, carried through generations, is sung with modern additions, blending traditional African instruments with contemporary styles, symbolizing the harmony between the past and the present. As the song rises, the family story unfolds through projected images and holograms, showcasing key moments of their journey, moments of pain, reconciliation, triumph, and joy. The song becomes an anthem for unity and resilience in the community. The celebration is broadcasted globally, with people tuning in from all corners of the world. The family story has become more than just a tale. It's a symbol of universal values that resonate across cultures. In cities, villages, and homes, people watch the events and reflect on their own lives, inspired by the story's enduring message. The elders, family member, now nearing the end of their journey, shares a final reflection with the gathered family and the world. They speak of the importance of love, forgiveness, and the courage to face challenges, reminding everyone that their story is not unique. It is a reflection of the woman experience. With tears in their eyes, the elder passes on the family's most cherished heirloom, a hand-carved symbol of the tree that represents their journey. It is given to the youngest family member, ensuring that the legacy will continue. As night falls, the family gathers around the ceremonial fire for the last time. Each family member lights a candle from the fire, symbolizing the spreading of their legacy into the world. The flames create a sea of light, illuminating the village and beyond. The family song rises once more, this time joined by the entire community. The collective voices carry the flames' message across the land that love and redemption are internal forces capable of changing the world. The final moment shifts to a new day dawning over the village. Children play around the family tree, their laughter echoing as the sun rises. The tree, now more magnificent than ever, stands as a testament to the family's enduring legacy. The family is seen in a modern agricultural field, cultivating crops and teaching sustainable farming techniques. This initiative is part of their ongoing mission to uplift the community while staying connected to their roots. The family's youngest generation leads the efforts, showing innovation blended with traditional wisdom. A young family member plants a sapling near the legendary family tree, symbolizing that while the original tree represents the past, the sapling represents the future. The family organizes an international summit in their home village, inviting thought leaders, innovators, and visionaries from around the world. The theme is Legacy and Leadership, building the future together. Attendees share how their own cultures and values align with the family's journey. The event highlights how interconnected the world has become, emphasizing that unity and shared values can address global challenges like climate change, inequality, and cultural preservation. In a symbolic gesture, seeds from the family tree are distributed to attendees who plant them in their various home trees. The seed represents the spread of the family's values across the globe, creating a network of connected communities. The family gathers around a new interactive exhibition in the village that chronicles their history. The exhibit uses holograms, photographs, and storytelling to retell Emeka and Ngosi's journey in vivid detail. Community members and visitors explore the exhibit, learning about the trials and triumphs that shaped the family. The exhibit ensures that the family's legacy remains accessible to future generations, inviting everyone to learn, to reflect, and to be inspired. A young family member, now an adult, preparing to embark on their own journey, with a suitcase in hand and the family's carved heirloom tucked safely inside, they step into the world to start a new chapter, carrying the legacies forward. The young family member, pausing at the edge of the village, turning back for a final look at the family tree before walking confidently toward the horizon. The internal board, the conclusion part, opens with a serene sunrise over the village, symbolizing the dawn of a new era. The family tree stands taller than ever, its roots deep and unshakable. The camera moves inward, focusing on a carving on the tree's bark, an inscription of Emeka and Ngosi's initials, encased in a heart placed there decades ago. The family gathered near the ceremonial fire. A new generation of children listens intently as an elder tells the family story, passing down the lessons of unity, forgiveness, and redemption. Their wide-eyed curiosity reflects the enduring magic of the tale. A child placing a new log on the ceremonial fire, ensuring it continues to burn brightly for generations to come. We are all connected by stories, by struggles, and by the flames we pass on to others. The mortgage highlights communities overcoming challenges, building futures, and honoring their roots. The sapling planted has grown into a young tree, standing proud beside the original tree. Belts nest in its branches, symbolizing the new beginnings. Beneath the trees, children play and elders share stories. Life continues, full of joy and harmony. Our story is not just ours. It belongs to all who believe in love, forgiveness, and the power of a legacy that will never fade. A final farewell. The last moments show the carved heirloom displayed prominently at the base of the original family tree. A simple plaque that reads, "The tree of life, may its roots bind us and its branches set us free." While the story has ended, its lessons and spirits will live on in their hearts and actions.